Hey everyone, welcome back to Secure 7. In this video, we're diving deep into one of the most dangerous web vulnerabilities from the OWASP Top 10, command injection. It allows attackers to execute system-level commands directly on your server, potentially giving them full control. We'll break it down, show a real demo using DVWA, and discuss how you can protect your applications. Let's start simple. Command injection occurs when user input is passed directly to a system shell command without proper sanitization. That input can include special characters like a semicolon, double ampersand, or pipe to chain additional commands. For example, suppose a web app lets you ping an IP address entered by a user. If it just appends the user's input to a system command, an attacker can sneak in extra commands. Let's say the user inputs 127.0.0.1, that's fine. But if the input is 127.0.1 semicolon ls, the app will run both ping and list all files in the current directory. This is how a simple oversight can become a serious security flaw. Let's look at some real-world command injection attacks. In 2021, GitLab had a critical vulnerability where attackers could inject commands through CI configuration files, gaining remote execution. Cisco routers were also found vulnerable via their web interface, allowing remote users to run shell commands. Trend Micro's Apex Central product had a flaw that let attackers gain root access using malicious API calls. These are high-profile examples, proving command injection is not just theory, it's exploited in the wild. Let's move to a demo using DVWA, the Damn Vulnerable Web App. After logging in, we'll set the security level to low, then navigate to the command injection section. First, we enter 127.0.1. The page executes a ping command on that IP. Now, let's try injecting a command. We enter 127.0.1 semicolon ls. This time, the server pings the IP and also lists the directory contents, proof that our injected command was executed. If you're using Windows, you can try double ampersand followed by DR instead. This shows how dangerous it is when inputs go unchecked. Now let's explore how attackers take things further. By injecting a reverse shell command, the attacker can make the server call back to their system and open a remote session. For example, on Linux, a simple bash one-liner connects back to the attacker's IP and port. Once the connection is made, the attacker has a terminal with access to the server's file system and potentially even root privileges. This turns a small form input into a full server compromise. Terrifying, right? Now, how do we prevent this? First, avoid using system commands whenever possible. Use safer built-in functions or libraries to handle operations. Second, always validate and sanitize user input. Filter out dangerous characters like semicolons, pipes, and ampersands. Whitelisting is far more secure than blacklisting. Third, if you must use system commands, make sure to properly escape arguments using safe methods in your language, like escape shell arg in PHP. Next, follow the principle of least privilege. Your web server should never run as root. Limit what it can access, just in case something gets through. Finally, consider using a web application firewall. It can detect suspicious patterns and block dangerous payloads before they reach your backend. Misconceptions. One major misconception is relying on JavaScript validation. Client-side validation can be bypassed easily using tools like Burp Suite or curl. Attackers don't use the browser like normal users. They craft raw HTTP requests and insert whatever they want. The server should never trust client-side checks. Let's recap. Command injection is when an attacker can make your server execute OS-level commands. It's been used in real attacks on companies like GitLab and Cisco. We demonstrated how even a simple semicolon can open the door, and we showed how this can escalate into a reverse shell with full system access. But with proper validation, secure coding practices, and system hardening, you can prevent it. If you found this valuable, hit like, subscribe to Secure 7, and check out our full Ethical Hacking Basic course. Stay curious, stay secure, and keep hacking the right way.